A few days have now passed since that incident at Knox Pro Wrestling, and unfortunately for some reason, Raja Jackson is still walking the streets as a free man. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Here to discuss once again the incident, what happened between Well, I say the incident, it wasn't an incident, it was a brutal assault. And for me, it was definitely attempted murder. Now, we've talked about the incident itself, we've talked about the factors behind it, RVD spoke about it, Mark Henry spoke about it, so yeah, screw those guys. Miro's came out, he said he was a long-term friend, or long-time, friend of Syko Stu, and he posted a GoFundMe, so it's in the comments of this post here. If you're interested, then you can go and send a donation to Syko Stu, who's recovering in hospital right now. And yeah, we put up a poll, 329 votes, and thankfully, I think we're seeing some common sense here. It does make me feel good that 70% of people are actually in agreement that it was, because it was, alright? And we probably would have seen a murder, I think, if there was no one to stop that. If that wrestler, who, by the way, came out and he has launched a verbal attack on Raja Jackson, and that might be another video that we cover, but if he wasn't there, because let's be honest, I didn't really see anyone else jumping in, the referee certainly didn't do shit, but if he wasn't there and if he didn't stop that, how many more punches would Raja Jackson have gave Syko Stu? At what point would he have stopped? At what point would he have deemed, that's me got my, quote unquote receipt? He didn't show any signs of slowing down. He didn't show any signs of stopping. He could have literally pummeled that guy in the face in the middle of the ring until he genuinely legit fucking died. And he almost did. He had to be brought back by the EMTs, but I mean, we're talking, you don't know, but we're talking maybe a couple more punches away from this actually being a murder. So that guy that stepped in and rescued Syko Stu, I think he deserves, I think he deserves a GoFundMe as well, to be fair, because he genuinely has saved a life.
Yeah, because we don't know. Could have been one punch, could have been five, could have been 10. This guy wasn't stopping at what he'd hit. Put it that. I mean, look at the guy swinging even after that wrestler's got him off. I mean, he's going ballistic.
Yeah, he also punched the wrestler that pulled him off. So, and then we seen his little rant out in the streets, just like an unhinged
lunatic.
Yeah, so I mean, the sooner that guy's in prison, the sooner he's behind a cell, the better for sure. But let's get into the results then. 70% are saying charged for murder, which I agree. 19% are saying charged for GBH assault. To me, that should be the absolute bare minimum. And I think if he got charged for that, he'd be getting off very lightly.
No, I agree. I think it has to be one of the top two options. But for me, 70% would be my way, the attempted murder charge.
Third option, well, we've got a joint tie for third place, so lifetime wrestling / combat sports ban. Honestly, I think that should be a given. I don't even think there should be a debate. That should be non-negotiable. As far as I'm concerned, no company should ever hire him again. If he gave a couple of unconscious punches in the UFC, Dana White would cut him and have nothing to do with him. He gave 20 plus. And people are arguing about, you see this happening in UFC. I think that was RVD. RVD being the fucking retard that he is, by the way, and I don't know how much weed he's smoked today, but he actually came out and said something along the lines of, you see unconscious knockouts all the time in UFC. First of all, you don't, right? See in UFC, see as soon as a fighter is unconscious, the referee will jump in and stop it straight away. And second of all, yeah, you might get the odd occasion where one guy has been hit like once or maybe twice when he might be knocked out if the referee's a little bit late to jump in. But even then, a lot of fighters have restraint. A lot of fighters will actually realise they have knocked a guy out and they will pull their punch or they will pull their kick. And they will, do their best to actually not punch the guy because they know they've already beat him. This Raja Jackson guy was viciously assaulting. I mean, he was trying to kill him. So RVD, you can go and fucking suck a dick, because I just don't care for your opinion anymore. I pick one, pick them all. Pick fucking Raja's big black one and suck it all night until your heart's content, because you're a piece of shit. You're a scumbag. And I've no interest in RVD anymore. Still appreciate his, work in the ring and stuff, but
He's lost the plot. He has absolutely lost the plot, Van Damme.
Not that I ever really cared for him personally, because I do think he is a bit of a waster, to be completely honest. But for me, he's just summed it up. He was basically defending this because it happens in MMA, it happens in UFC. It doesn't show me 20 unanswered strikes to someone who's unconscious in UFC. Fucking show me that video, and I will give you $100. Show me it. Go.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen, right? And let's say there is like they dig through like thousands of fights and they find one tape just because they find like just because like there might be a one-off incident in UFC where it somehow happened or like some MMA.
Show me it and I'll give you £100.
No, but it doesn't make it right though. It just means he fucked up there
but it won't have happened.
Exactly though.
It won't have happened.
But what people are saying, Van Damme's doing this for engagement farming, right? That doesn't justify it. That's pathetic. Van Damme's made his money. Why does Van Damme feel the need to defend this guy?
I mean, much money is RVD going to profit for getting like an extra few couple 100,000 impressions on a tweet? Twitter doesn't even pay out that much money. RVD's making himself look like an absolute dick for what, maybe $50 extra in his monthly pay.
He tweeted something like, "Oh, I'm leaning on the side of Raja. More on this when I wake up tomorrow," and then he kind of like backtracked.
But he also said something about something about what was it? Something about minds, unintelligent minds or something. If you something about like if you don't see where he's coming from, you're like unintelligent. I can't remember the exact way the words. Have you got that tweet or do you got it? Or
I don't have it anywhere, but Van Damme has never came across as a guy that reeks of intelligence. The fact that he smokes his fucking brains out sums that up.
It's like basic thinking or something. Was this like basic minds?
It was something along those lines, right? No, it's a complete opposite. You'd have to be.
Yeah, you'd have to have a basic mind to defend this.
Yeah.
You 100%. And lastly, 5% are saying nothing. It was a wrestling incident. For me, this is bullshit. You're setting a dangerous precedent that anything can happen at a wrestling show.
Yes.
Basically, what you're saying is, since it's a wrestling incident, so since you can like use cheese graters and you see people using like pizza cutters, are we going to get to the point now where someone can actually use, let's say, a sharper, bigger blade, and it can be counted as a weapon, and if they genuinely like stab someone and possibly kill them, then that's going to be okay, that's going to fly because it was at a wrestling show and it's a wrestling incident? Absolutely fucking not. You need to draw the line somewhere.
Of course you do, and I think the proof's in the pudding when you're seeing like WWE literally have cut every single tie possible with this Knox Pro Wrestling, because we have, I mean, yeah,
too many people get away with this shit. New Jack should have been punished for what he did to Mass Transit, 100%.
Yeah. No, fucking tenfold. Absolutely. It's no right. But
New Jack actually went out there with the mindset they fucking cut that guy open. It wasn't an accident or I cut too deep on purpose. He went out there to fucking purposely harm this kid, and I think he was only 17 at the time. That's fucking disgusting.
No, it is fucking crazy. New Jack was always a scumbag. Always a scumbag.
So I've no interest in New Jack. Fuck him. No interest in RVD. I've no interest in Mark Henry. They're all. They're not good people. They don't have. They don't have any sort of human decency that they think that these kind of things can.
It's like we've heard New Jack speak about Benoit, right? Obviously, New Jack's dead, right? Benoit's dead, but
Is New Jack dead?
He died a couple of years ago.
Didn't know.
But see.
No, you know what? This is controversial. I'll put Benoit. I'd put Benoit above New Jack in terms of There's no proof of Benoit being a horrible person, apart from that one really bad crime that he committed, and there has been evidence that he had that brain of an 85-year-old. I think that it would be. I'm not going to condemn one person for one really awful crime if someone's been an absolute scumbag their entire life.
See, with Benoit, too many things are blurred. There's not like 100%. I'm not defending the guy. Right?
No, I'm not defending him either, but
it's not. It's very open. It's like, see New Jack, we literally seen him what he did. See with Benoit, that case got closed far too quickly. for to be
Well, no,
like
but
a
it's not even that. You listen to the people in wrestling and like they say, "Oh, Benoit, Jericho, you would leave your kids with Benoit. You would trust him. He would never. He was a great guy." Who came out and called New Jack a great guy?
not many people.
Nobody, because he wasn't. So it's one of those things where what Benoit did was absolutely horrible, but does him doing one horrible thing when perhaps he wasn't in the right mind frame, does that make him worse than just a person that's been a scumbag their entire life? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but back to this. I mean, if you're voting for the bottom incident, I mean, come on, nothing. It was a wrestling incident. 5% of the folk here need to be ashamed of themselves.
No, 100% agree.
A wrestling incident, right, is a botched move. Like what Owen did on Austin, right? Shit like that. Accidents happen. That's a wrestling incident. This is attempted murder. Nothing. That is what it is.
And by the way, let's not get it twisted. See what I said about Benoit. See if he didn't kill himself. 100%, he should be done for murder, and you throw away the key.
Yeah.
So, not justifying what Benoit did in any way, shape, or form. Just don't think he was I do not believe that Benoit was a horrible human being for the 39 years of his life. And I certainly wouldn't say what Benoit did was a wrestling incident. I mean, he killed his family. It's unforgivable. It's tragic, but it's unforgivable. And I can see why people, just want absolutely nothing to do with Benoit. But I can also see why people sympathise that were his friends and were saying he never showed any signs of doing that.
Yeah, we'll never know the 100% truth behind that. But here, we've literally got it, right, on tape. What are the LAPD waiting for? Seriously? It's been days.
Yep. Now, King's Mike said in the comments that there's other factors about this, and I was doing a reply, and I went to hit reply and actually clicked off, and it was a massive reply, so I was not going to type it all out again, but he was saying that you need to look at other factors, and I mean, basically saying that ultimately Raja was the one that was in the wrong the most, but there was other people in the wrong, including the people that were egging Raja on, the promotion for allowing Raja to have a receipt, and Syko Stu himself for being intoxicated and hitting Raja with the empty beer can in the first place, right? Well, first let's take the Syko Stu incident, right? Can you argue he was wrong for that? I would say yes, right? But I mean, it's not like he hit him with a real can. He didn't strike him full force with a can that was going to hurt or do any damage. It certainly wasn't a glass bottle like I've seen some other people say. And he apologised for that. But from the stories that I'm seeing is that Syko Stu, and people have backed this up, that Syko Stu believed that Raja Jackson was coming in to be a part of the show, and that he hit him with a prop beer can. Even then, right, that was, if you want to argue that was wrong, that's fine. And see if Raja Jackson struck him immediately there. I don't think anyone would have any complaints really. But Syko Stu apologised multiple times and they shaked hands, so that's that done. You cannot so you can't shake hands with someone and forgive something and then like 10 minutes later try and kill them and say that's self-defense. Doesn't fucking work that way, right? Promoters can argue that, oh well, he said he could get a receipt, so it's not Raja's fault. Doesn't matter if the promoters give a receipt, but he didn't understand wrestling. You don't need to understand wrestling, right? You do not have to understand anything about wrestling to realise that punching someone that aggressively and that hard 22 times while they're unconscious can kill them. Whether it be in a wrestling ring, an MMA ring, on the streets, or at home, a domestic situation, you do not do that. That is inexcusable. It's unforgivable. You do that to someone, there's no justification for it. Why are people pretending, but he doesn't know about, it's not about wrestling. It could have fucking happened anywhere. Could have happened in a ring, could have happened at a workplace, could have happened in the fucking White House. It could have happened it could have happened anywhere. It does, there's no location where that would be okay.
Yeah, but like, what did they actually say to him when they said give him a receipt? Give him a couple of stiff ones?
No, but on what planet does this Syko Stu believe that something like this would be allowed in wrestling when it's not allowed in MMA?
Raja Jackson, you mean?
Aye.
No, of course. Yes, And that is
If this is not allowed in MMA, why is it going to be allowed in pro wrestling, which is fake?
And that is where this guy has to. It's undefendable because it's like, just because wrestling's fake and MMA's real doesn't take away from the fact that, well, if he starts doing real punches in the fake wrestling ring, it doesn't make the punches fake.
Yeah, or even in those scenarios, like I think you see in movies and stuff, and it probably happens in real life, where if someone does something really bad to someone, and they're like, right, I'll give you a free shot.
Yep.
It's like, you wouldn't say, I'll give you a free shot, and then someone proceeds to knock you out and then punch you 22 times unconscious on the floor. So, I mean, you can argue that Raja Jackson doesn't understand wrestling. He doesn't need to understand wrestling to realise that 22 unanswered, strong physical strikes to an unconscious man's attempted murder.
And also,
so that's a bullshit excuse.
People are using his kickstream comments.
Well, that's what I was going to go into next. Right, do you want to address the whole, he didn't understand wrestling? Or the term receipt? Do you want any last comments on that?
It's irrelevant if he doesn't understand the term receipt, because why would he think a company is going to give him the green light to batter a guy unconscious?
Agreed, right.
No, like, how fucking thick and retarded do you need to be?
Agreed, right. Go into the kick stream, and so what? Oh, there's a bunch of 12-year... Here, see if this Raja Jackson guy got riled up so much over what a bunch of fucking losers on the internet that have, like, zero effect on him have to say, then he's not safe and he shouldn't be on the streets. Does that mean that if we have people in our comments telling us to go and commit a horrible crime, we're half justified to go and do it because we have people egging us on? Or peer pressure? When was that ever like a justifiable excuse? When was that ever a defence in the court of law? I done something really bad, but my neighbour told me to do it, or my friend told me to do it. When the fuck does that work? This is a grown man that apparently lost all control of his actions and, lashed out with this violent assault because there was some people on his kick stream egging him on.
It feels like every excuse they make for this guy gets fucking worse. It's like, it's just a bunch of comments.
You think of the most famous people in the world. Think of people that have millions of followers. What are their followers telling them to do on a...
Put it this way, right? Yeah, no, you're right, but put it this way. If they actually use this as an excuse when he gets arrested, hopefully that happens, he gets arrested, then what company or what streaming service is going to actually allow this guy on it? Like, whether it be wrestling a game, which I severely doubt, combat sports, whatever, or like Twitch or Kick. How can this guy be trusted on one of these? If he's going to, like, act on comments that he receives for 12-year-olds?
Well, he should. It shouldn't even be a question. He should be banned from this kick from ever. But here, that's the only thing Rampage Jackson cared about. As soon as it happened, he apologised to Kick the stream. Not Syko Stu. He apologised to Kick the stream because he realises that's where they make money, and he doesn't want to lose his form of revenue. That's fucking pathetic. This guy Rampage Jackson's already got a shitload of money. And his first thought was, I need to apologise to the kick stream and not apologise to the guy that nearly died in the ring due to my violent son. So there's that. And then the final comment that King Mike made that I want to address is he admitted that yes, there are people defending Raja Jackson purely based on the fact that he is black, but there's also people condemning Raja Jackson purely based on the fact that he is black. And I need to disagree with that. So let's talk about the whole condemning thing. We should all be able to agree 100% that this act, the only thing you can do is condemn it because it was wrong. There was nothing justifiable about it. It was an inexcusable, brutal attack. Everybody should be condemning it. So therefore, other factors just do not matter. If something is 100% condemnable, then it really is irrelevant whether the person that committed that is black, white, or whatever, because they have to be condemned for their actions. So how can you come to the conclusion there's people only condemning him because he's black when the incident is 100% condemnable?
No, exactly.
Do you agree?
No, I totally agree.
Right, now let's move on to the other point. Condoning. There's no way you can condone this, right? This is uncondonable, right? So how can that same argument be applied? There is people condoning Raja Jackson purely because he's black. And the proof to that is there's no way you can condone this. There's no way you can condone this attack. And there's people doing it. So therefore, the reason they're doing it is because he is black and they're black. It's just, I don't see why that is so difficult to understand. How can you say, oh, there's people condoning it because he's black, but there's also people condemning it because he's black? But the incident is 100% condemnable, and there's no way you can condone it. So therefore, the skin colour can only apply to the people condoning it.
Yeah, no, I totally.
Do you agree with that? Or?
I know, I do agree with that, but then what happens if someone says about Rob Van Dam? What's his say in it? Or is he just smoked out his tits?
What?
He's not black.
No, that's I think you've lost the plot here.
Have I lost the plot?
He's saying there's people condoning it because he's black. But there's also people condemning it because he's black. RVD's not condemning it, he's condoning it.
Right. But you're saying... So he's turned around and said that people are condoning it because he's black and people are condemning it because he's black?
Yes.
Right, yes, right, I get
so
it.
So that's irrelevant.
Right.
What you're saying.
Right.
But you don't seem to realise that.
No, I do get it now. Right, I understand. There's just a lot of condoning and a lot of condemning. I understand it. He's trying to say no matter what would have happened, people would have condemned him just due to the sole fact that he's black.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying RVD's condoning him because he's black. That could be a possibility. It might not be a possibility. RVD could have his fucked up own reasons for condoning him. What King Mike was saying is, you will have people that are condoning him for his actions purely based on the fact that he's black, but you also have people condemning him for his actions purely based on the fact that he's black. My argument to that is, this incident is 100% condemnable, so you can't come to the conclusion that there's only people condemning him because of his skin colour, because he should be getting condemned either way regardless.
It's become a race issue, because people don't have fucking common sense. I mean, that's what it's boiled down. How can you see this incident, man, and even begin to form an argument for Raja? The only person that should be forming an argument for Raja is his fucking lawyer. Because that's what they have to do. You know what I mean?
And even then, they're going to have a difficult case.
The guy has literally admitted to everything he did, right? On his fucking live stream after it happened. All the evidence points towards it. It's just how we are sitting here on a Wednesday morning, and this guy's not been picked up yet. It is nothing short of crazy.
Also, I mean, just before we get into the comments here with the whole referee thing, I get it that wrestling is a predetermined. It's a work, okay. You're not supposed to hurt your opponent, but sometimes you do get wrestlers. Maybe not so much these days, but sometimes you would get wrestlers that would maybe get into a bit of a shoot, and it would get a bit physical, and perhaps some of the strikes, would be, have some mustard on them, as JR used to say. I think we've seen that in the last WrestleMania match with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte.
Yep. Was
that this year's Mania? Was that?
Aye, that was this year's.
Right. But the point to that is, I know it's rare that happens, but do you not think that's another reason why, especially when it's men wrestling, there should be a male referee? Because, let's say you have two men that start legit having a fight in the middle of the ring. What's a woman realistically going to do? How's she going to break that up?
I don't think women actually referee men's matches, do it? Well, actually,
they do.
Aubrey Edwards does, but not in WWE.
I think I've seen some.
Well, you get the odd one, though, but you're right.
No, but the point is, right, see the referees in UFC, and I don't know. I've seen some in boxing, but not as many. But I would say the referees in UFC, I'm not saying they're capable of beating up UFC fighters, but they do seem men of decent size and stature and physicality. They do seem like they are capable of separating or at least restraining someone if completely necessary.
No, I agree. Yo, I understand it, right? The referee probably didn't know what to do, but at the same time, it goes.
Well, I think the referee should have some sort of physical training where he can.
Presence.
Yeah, it's like a you'd expect a policeman to.
Even if the referee wasn't big, right? He wasn't a big guy, but he's got to make some attempt. To me the proof's in the pudding there, right? If the referee is too fucking scared to get Raja Jackson off of this Stu guy, then you know he's doing something wrong.
Or the referee's just ignorant.
You could say that, but and also let's go back to the receipt thing, right? See receipts in wrestling history. Why are we under this false pretense that they're all signed off by like creative? Not every
it happens in look
not
at,
every receipt signed.
Look
You try to tell me like when Stevie Richards wrapped the steel chair around JBL's skull, McMahon's fucking sitting there like, all right, we'll green light that.
well, I mean, I think the best one is like if you look at no in terms of like just how to quickly fix something and just nip it in the bud. I look at Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
You know, like Brock Lesnar hit Brock with a pretty stiff knee, and Brock literally just got up and punched him on the side of the head.
Yes, but would you not...
and basically says to him, he'll cut that shit out. And that was it. That was it done. Now, see if Braun Strowman hits Brock with a stiff knee and Brock gets up and single leg takedowns Braun Strowman and then starts punching him 5, 10, 15, 20 times in the middle of the ring. I don't think anyone's going to be defending Brock Lesnar.
No. We've seen it with Jericho and Shane as well in that Survivor Series match, but seeing WWE, man, I don't know, what are we trying to pretend it's like wrestling history now that the creative teams had like a hand in receipts. To me, receipts are almost like it's almost like the wrestlers going into business for themselves to a degree. I'm not saying it's never discussed like beforehand or whatever, but why are we probably... I understand why this company's getting heat, right? And maybe a guy did go up to him, but there's no excuse for what he did. You know, like see it the most, man. They're like, right.
Well, I'll tell you what. See if the promoter went up to Raja Jackson and says, "Here, get in the ring, slam him down on the back of his head so he's unconscious, then mount the guy and fire 22 hard, aggressive, unanswered shots into this unconscious guy." If the promoter said that, then put them both away for attempted murder.
No, but see this Raja Jackson guy, see if he doesn't know the business and the promoter has went up to him and said, right, what you're going to do, here's a receipt, and you're going to do this to him, then that is, fuck, you're right, throw him away as well. Nah, everything about this is wrong. What do you think's actually happened there with the promoter?
Hold on, Mike Tyson, Holyfield, I don't recall any of them jumping on a wrestler and fucking punching them 22 times.
Yes, I know, but what do you think's happened here with this promoter? See the people going down this whole receipt gimmick? Why wouldn't, if it was just an angle, right, and he's supposed to go in and hit him with a couple of, fake looking punches, why has it got to be labelled as a receipt?
Here, maybe he says go in and give him a stiff one, but that doesn't mean doing what he done.
Yeah.
It's unjustifiable what he...
So yeah, I think that's the interesting thing here. I think Raja Jackson has got the potential in his defence to completely throw this fucking company under the bus. But it's not going to work. But if he comes out and says, I was told to go out and do what I did, then this Knox Pro Wrestling is... Well, I would say.
Well, I don't think that's going to save Raja Jackson.
No, it's not going to. No, it's
because
not
if someone,
but it's going to condemn.
Yeah,
the whole
but
company.
if someone puts a gun in your hand and says go and shoot this guy and kill him, and you do it, that doesn't get you off. I mean, you're still.
No. I'm not saying Raja Jackson's not fucked. He'll still go away. But to me, this company and Rikishi, whatever. I mean, he's like the guy running it. That's a shite look for them.
Don't believe Rikishi's made a public statement.
And I think that's the proof in the pudding. If WWE's cut complete ties,
they maybe know what's coming.
And they're telling their guys not to speak to the police, then I think there must be proof in this receipt thing.
Possibly, right. Livewire said no arrest, no security rushing in. His opponent rolls out after a spear rather than help. Ref just tells him to stop over and over without touching him. Wrestler took a back bump, didn't try to block anything. They were both in the perfect spot at the right time. Camera only caught part of that match. It's a work. See, people that think this is a work, they're fucking retarded. The guy is in hospital with broken bones in his face, fucking half his teeth missing. He had to be revived in the middle of the fucking ring. And you're telling me that it's a work?
But see, they're warped, right? Here, see in 6 months' time, maybe this gets squashed and maybe they're like, here, there's money in this. You shake hand. The Jackson family, you give Stu fucking $5 million and we're going to make this into an angle. See if that did happen 6 months down the line, that does not mean this was a work.
Yeah, I mean, it means it was something that was real and they turned it into a work. I mean, it's not rocket science. Like Ray Henry says, entire crime from beginning to end, from the soda can to the premeditated speech before entering the ring, fast forward to the very end. Raja yapping away live on air, attempted murder because its video shows he was going to kill him if he wasn't pulled off. I mean, I agree. It's sickening to think, but honestly, I mean, when would he have stopped? If no one intervened, when would he have stopped?
Well, that to me, that is why it is that to me that is the whole purpose of why he should be going away here. I mean, it's thrown the 20 odd punches is bad enough, but you're right. When would he have stopped?
When his hands got sore?
Yeah.
No, like no, seriously, like when was he going to stop?
And see the loser saying that he wasn't hitting him hard. I'd like to see them take those punches, man.
I mean, you can clearly tell that he was striking him like it was a fucking real fight.
How much harder do they want him to hit him?
Yeah, Michael Fest says give him 20, make an example. I wouldn't be against that. JG says only Stu and his family get to say, being it's in the ring, there's always chances of work, meaning they both agreed on the outcome, which is nuts, but some wrestlers are nuts. It's amazing AEW hasn't. That's usually unsafe pile drivers through tables. This is different. It's either attempted murder or workplace negligence. I disagree. It's not only up for Stu and his family to get a say. Just like here, if you go out and kill someone, it's not like, well, the family get to have a say whether they want to press charge. No, you killed someone, so you get done for murder. All right, it's not only the victim that gets to decide, or the victim's family that gets to decide whether that person committed a crime or not. If you committed a crime, you committed a crime, and you do the time. And it certainly wasn't a work. People need to fucking work, man. People are wild to the moon. Green Blunton says try that with Brock Lesnar. He wouldn't though. That's the thing. He fucking wouldn't, because he's a pussy. I mean, if he had an issue, he could have done something when both men were face to face, standing up. Drake. And another thing, I've seen people say, oh, Brock Lesnar's not going to do shit, Rampage Jackson would Brock Lesnar would eat fucking Rampage Jackson for breakfast. Anyone who thinks otherwise is in denial. Drake Pendragon says, I think that it depends. If he's legit sorry and was told to get even in the ring, but took it too far, then a fine and suspension should be fine. If the other guy's okay, he should pay for Stu's medical bills. The other guy's not okay. The other guy has got a broken face, missing half his teeth, and had to be brought back to life essentially. So yeah, he's not fine, and you just don't know the lasting effect that's going to have on someone. Oh, he's awake, he's okay. Is he fuck? You don't know how that's going to affect that guy going on for the rest of his life. I mean, forget about never being able to wrestle again. Yeah, the guy could develop all sorts of health problems, mental health problems, physicality. You don't know if he's going to have the same capacity to even think logically. You don't know what kind of damage that could have done.
No, we don't know. We can't be kept in the dark about the whole situation, so we don't really know the extent until the next couple of weeks.
Beer Sensei says he should be doing time for that. Wasn't even wrestling punches, was real. And the guy was very unconscious. No, I mean, it was very real. Donny Bravo says, what Raja did was bad, but stop trying to make the other guy a hero by mentioning he's a veteran. That is irrelevant. He can still be a victim who deserves justice without mentioning his irrelevant service. Disagree. You know what? The guy decided to represent his country, and I think he deserves respect for that. So therefore, if he's done something noticeable, if he's done something that should be applauded and recognised in his career, then I will mention that. Just like if the guy was like a policeman or a firefighter, I would mention that because they're risking their lives to protect the community and help. So if you do something good, then yeah, I'm going to mention that. So,
veteran or no veteran, it doesn't change the fact of what happened. I don't see why people.
Well, no, I'm not trying. How am I trying to make the guy a hero? I'm simply just mentioning the fact the guy was a veteran in the army, which he was. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. The guy could have worked at Walmart all his life. Doesn't change the fact he got fucking barred, nearly killed.
True, but if he worked at Walmart, I wouldn't mention he worked at Walmart.
Aye,
because that's just a normal job.
Yeah.
But the guy done something that I think is worthy of being noted. So, Drake Pendragon says there's a difference between giving the guy a receipt for something and beating him after he's unconscious. Stu, being a veteran with PTSD, speaks for his manner of ribbing the kid. Stop trying to defend a thug who beat an unconscious man. Even in MMA, when the ref steps in, you stop punches. Yeah, and then Drake Pendragon says, as a veteran, thank you for pointing out that he was a veteran. So there you go. That's kind of the reason why I pointed out, because I just think it's something that the guy done in his life that deserves respect. So I don't see the harm in pointing out the guy's a veteran. If that bothers you, then I don't know.
I remember the good old days, folks, when you were a veteran, you were a hero.
You got respect, remember that?
Aye. People loved America.
Right, Thrill of the Hunt says he needs to go to prison, end off. I mean, agreed, I think it's simple as that. Skulldoggery Doodoo says 5% at this moment think it was a wrestling incident, no way. Yeah, the guy needed a receipt, but looks how Brock managed it against Braun. This guy has an ego and wants the guy dead. The dude was out and he kept going and would have carried on if it wasn't for that other wrestler pulling him off. The guy is an animal with a fragile ego. If he wanted to give a receipt, he should have smacked him when the incident happened.
Yeah, it was premeditated. See, once the beer can incident happens, right, and they make up after it and apologies and, are all said, that's irrelevant. The line has been drawn. You cannot do this.
Yeah, right. Also, so Drake Pendragon says, those are the same 5% that want Carmelo Anthony to beat his murder rap in Texas. And honestly, that's the same thing. And it's fucking sad, but it's the exact same thing. Just like people are condoning what Rajah Jackson done, you've also got people condoning what Carmelo Anthony done because it was a black guy, it was a black kid killing a white kid. And they will condone that because the colour of the attacker and the colour of the victim. It's pathetic. Someone did mention Kyle Rittenhouse, but it's not the same. Like I say, it's apples and oranges. What that Kyle guy was getting. Now, whether I think he should have been out in the street with a gun, I personally don't like guns, don't really agree with guns, but he was actually physically getting attacked and defended himself, and unfortunately 2 people lost their lives. As for the kid that Carmelo Anthony killed, there's no evidence to suggest that Carmelo Anthony's life was under threat or he was even being attacked. He was simply asked to leave a location that he wasn't supposed to be in, and that's not worthy of stabbing someone in the heart. So 2 completely different cases.
Is that the one where he's told to move seat?
Aye, by the kid that was 17
in
or
the
18.
training ground?
Aye.
Well, fuck, I mean, come on, man. I mean, how can you even attempt to justify that?
Well, that's what these people are doing, so it's like,
No, but see...
Like, gaming with James, if Kyle got off of it, so should Carmelo. I know that doesn't suit your political bias, but it's true, both of them should be locked up by it. Well, no. It's nothing to do with that, because Kyle Rittenhouse guy was actually getting attacked. Some guy ran up and hit him with a fucking skateboard, and it was during a riot where he was surrounded by like 50, 100, there was loads of people there. I can understand why that guy was threatened, and the reason he got off with it is because he was within his rights to use reasonable force, and it is what it is. In America, guns are legal, and if you feel like your life is threatened, then you are allowed to use that gun if you legally own it and you have a permit and whatnot. That Carmelo Anthony guy just simply decided to stab this kid and kill him because
there's nothing self-defense about that.
Yeah, so just bullshit comparison there. But yeah, it is what it is. Some people just... So it is fucking... I think it's the crazy world we live in. It's so sad, man, that people will defend these horrendous, heinous acts because the colour of someone. It's not right. Greer says, and the fact that people online, including wrestling podcasts, i.e. Hannibal TV, still think this could be a work shows how stupid humanity is. These people are fucking retarded. See, these people that are hell-bent on works. And even not just this, carrying cross, it's a work.
You know what it is? They're so sad in their own little lives that they're disassociated with the real fucking world, and they think everything is fake. They think everything is a work, wrestling-wise.
Wrestling's their life, so it's almost like it needs to be a work.
They can't comprehend in their skull that anything else can be real.
It's still real to me, damn it.
You know what should have happened, right? Rajah Jackson should have took him down. And see, once he noticed he was unconscious, because, see, watching the fight, you can tell the lights are out for Stu once he hits the deck.
Well, the lights are out for the first strike.
Yeah, so once the takedown happens and he hits his head and he's out, any competent and any real fucking man realises, right, I can't even attempt that's to the swing thing, for him here.
See if he hit him once or twice,
and then realise,
I think you could maybe make a case that perhaps he thought the guy was maybe selling or something, and he did. But I don't give a fuck. You're not in that position hitting someone 22 times and not realising that they're unconscious and not even responding.
Yeah.
Attempted murder, no, there's no two ways about it. Powerline said, I want him to go to prison. I want a gang of the most ruthless, foul lowlifes to take his manhood. That's justice. George Alvarez said he's beating the murder charges if they do that. Is he? Don't know. Oofmaster, for the rest of his life, make him go one-on-one with the Undertaker player.
Get Terry Long out there.
And Ramsey Bolton charged by the electric chair.
I don't think it'll be the electric chair. I don't think he doesn't deserve the electric chair, but he does deserve jail time.
Yeah, I think 5 years minimum.
Yeah, no, it should be. Absolutely. I mean, I think the death penalty has to be reserved for fucking, child rapists, murderers of the highest degree and all that stuff, serial killers. But it should be jail time, and you can't defend it, man. It's like we said earlier. There's just no way to condone it. Because see, once that incident in the car park with the beer, once that's squashed and the shake hands, to me that's a clean slate. And even with that, it still wouldn't be just. It's a joke. I mean, it's a disgrace.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts down below. I think this is the last video we're going to make on this. Because, I mean, what else is there to say? The guy that tackled him off made a video, and I mean, we might react to that if anything else happens. But, yeah, I mean, even looking at it, that guy did pull Raja Jackson off and held his own. And that guy's just a fake pro wrestler, so let's not get it twisted. This Raja Jackson guy's obviously got a little bit of MMA experience, and his father was a champion in UFC, but he's not a top fighter.
No, but yeah.
And if he tries this with someone that can handle themselves, it probably won't end well for him.
No, it won't. But I don't know what the LAP doing, man. LAPD need to hurry up. But I'm sick of talking about it. I wish we could come on here and talk about good stuff in wrestling, but it's shit like this.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace.